Hi, I'm Dr. Veronique Desaulniers, founder of breastcancerconquer.com and the 7 Essential System. Wellness, welcome to our podcast. I'm so excited to have a friend and a fellow colleague, Dr. Mariza Snyder. So Dr. Snyder is a wellness practitioner and she specializes in women's hormones. She's an expert in that field. She's written some amazing books. She's authored over 6 books. She's been on all kinds of interviews, Dr. Oz, and I forget which others you wrote down here. And you've done some amazing things in helping to educate women about their hormones and their health, and especially in the field of essential oils. You are incorporating things with women's health, nutrition, detoxification, all relating to women's health. And of course, that's right down my alley with, helping women with their health. So welcome to the show, Dr. Mariza. I'm so happy to have you here.
Thank you so much, Dr. Veronique. And I just want to take a moment and say I am so blessed to get to work with you, and I align with your mission in such a big way. I'm so grateful that you are doing this podcast so that you can continue to serve women at a massive capacity.
Thanks so much. Yeah, we're excited. We're getting through the technical stuff, so it's been fun. So tell us why essential oils. Tell us about your journey and how you ended up as a specialist dealing with essential oils.
Absolutely. It's a great question. So, my journey starts way back when I was really young and I had chronic migraines forever. And I was told by practitioners time and time again that this was going to be an issue that I was always going to live with. And I believed that. There was definitely a time in my life where I bought into the allopathic model. I took all the medications. And I knew that I was going to be living with this chronic pain for the rest of my life. That was what I was told. And I honestly didn't know anything different. And then I had the blessed opportunity when I was a biochemist to go and see a functional practitioner. They had acupuncture and chiropractic and nutrition and all the things and all the modalities I really didn't have an understanding of. All I knew was the pills in my purse. And after 3 months of being under their care with adjustments and acupuncture, nutrition, the whole gamut, my body healed. I got rid of my migraines, which was absolutely amazing. Wow. But at the same time, I also was my mother's daughter, and I come from a lineage of hormone chaos. And so right as I am healing up my migraines, and I was probably migraine free for many years, I was still the girl. In high school, those little 10-minute breaks we used to have, I was between classes, or maybe it was 5 minutes, I would be running from here to there across campus. I was the ASB president. I was on every board. I played soccer. I did everything. And I was constantly the kid that was getting called out of class to go into another meeting or to go and meet with the principal for a new project, not to meet with the principal for something wrong. I was running the school of 4,000 people, and I was running on adrenals, right? Even as a little girl. And I continued that momentum well into my 20s, well into getting my doctorate, well into practice. And in my mid to late 20s is where I completely just hit a wall. But luckily for me, I did have some amazing resources, right? I had learned a lot in school. I didn't know that it was hormone issues. I just knew that something was very wrong. There was a day, I can remember it like it was yesterday. I woke up from, I would say 7 or 8 hours of sleep, and I literally could not lift my head up off the pillow. Wow. And there were totally warning signs. My migraines were coming back. I was putting on weight for what I seemed like no reason. This is when I was 28 or 29 years old. I had massive mood swings. I used to call my mama Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, because she would flip. Her hormones would flip so bad during during PMS. And so I was becoming my mother. And I was burned out, exhausted. And as I was thinking about it, that day I was seeing, I think, 25 patients. And a lot of these were the women who had very similar issues. I didn't understand exactly what was going on with them. I hadn't put the pieces together. I feel like hormone conversations were a little bit taboo outside of your gynecologist giving you hormone replacements or the pill. We just didn't talk about what was really going on. And so as I began to do kind of a year-long pilgrimage, figuring out what was going on with me, I wanted to bring on as many tools as I could to move the needle. And initially it was nutrition. And I know that you and I align on this. Plant-based nutrition. We talk about tackling inflammation, talk about tackling, cancer prevention, but talk about getting those good antioxidants in the body to decrease inflammation. But what I found is that although nutrition is the foundation and it's a great, it's the long game, right? It's the everyday decision we make. I was also looking for something that would help me with my mood swings when they came out of nowhere, or where they felt like they came out of nowhere, or I wanted assistance with cravings or stress to reset the system. And that is when I was introduced to essential oils. A good friend of mine knew my personality well, knew I had hormone issues, knew I was chronically sick because of adrenal fatigue. And she was like, listen, I think you need to bring something in that you can create rituals that will help to balance your hormones through those daily, healthy, nourishing, self-care loving rituals. And that's when the oils came into my life. And oh my goodness, by far, like I would think about the 2 different phases in my life where my health majorly shift. And that first time was at that functional practitioner office when I learned that the body can heal naturally. That paradigm shift was so massive. But then the second big moment was with essential oils. I was like, are you telling me I could not get sick if I use oils? Are you telling me I can get rid of a headache with oils? Like all of a sudden they became our medicine cabinet makeover. And we use them, Veronique, for everything. And I know you do too.
I do. It's interesting. I mean, what a great story. I started with chiropractic care because of migraines when I was a teenager. So that's what opened up, my journey with the wellness industry. And then when I discovered essential oils, this was back in the late 80s. Were you even born then?
I was born then. You're hilarious. I'm not telling them when I'm born though.
Okay. But anyway, so I discovered it was like you. It was another one of those really light bulb moments when I discovered essential oils, and it had such a huge impact on my health, on my life, and I started incorporating them in my practice. And I mean, I just fell in love with them, and to this day, use them every day. So tell me, why do you think there's such a huge interest and shift in we call it the essential oil revolution? It's like, essential oils are everywhere. Why do you think that happened?
They are everywhere. I think the real big reason, Veronique, is women and families are sick and tired of being sick and tired. I think that's the big thing. I think that essential oils are helping to revolutionize the way that we look at our healthcare and the way that we look at our health. I think for the very same reason, when I got my first oil kit and I learned about what they did, I was like, oh my goodness, we are going to make over our medicine cabinet. We are going to make over our cleaning cabinet. We are going to make over everything. These are going to become the first thing that we reach for. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of moms and women in particular, because that's who I serve, and I know that's who you serve as well, is that women want to feel empowered in their own wellness. I think we want to know that we've got people like you and me in their corner, but that they're becoming the CEOs of their own healthcare, that they're making choices every single day that really define how their bodies are functioning. Goodness knows that is how you and I are both standing here today, feeling better, feeling healed, because we both have really powerful healing journeys. Yours, an exceptionally powerful healing journey. And that's why we're put on this earth to do what we do. I wake up every day and the oils are a part of the fabric. They're interwoven into everything that we do. I've got oils in my tea. I use my Superwoman blend here that I was putting on right before our interview. We diffuse oils every single day. Veronique, we've got 7 diffusers in our house, right? And we'll talk a little bit about that. And we run them all the time, knowing that these oils are helping to boost concentration, focus, that yummy feeling energy, so that I can be the most productive and most amazing person I can show up when I show up for people. And so I think that's the big thing. What we're seeing is that people are now feeling empowered with plant-based medicine, just like we're feeling empowered with nutrition, right? We had our big green smoothie today with kale and berries and matcha green tea and all kinds of fun stuff inside of there. And we do that every day because we're making choices for our well-being. And I think that is so powerful. Those little everyday health decisions that we make that move the needle, not only for ourselves, but for our family.
Amazing. Yeah, I'm like you. I have diffusers in every room, and I have them by my desk. And, because especially with the type of work that we do, and we really want to stay focused and have a, clarity, dab here, dab there, diffuse everywhere. Yeah, love it. Love it. So if somebody's new at essential oils and they've heard about basic things like peppermint is good for this and, that frankincense is good for that. What would be the top, let's say 2 to 4 oils or however number you want to recommend for a basic kit that somebody could start with to really start incorporating essential oils in their daily life?
I think that's such a great question. I could give you a top 3 list, a top 5 list, a top 10 list, a top
Let's
25.
do top 5. Let's do top 5.
And I have a top 25 list in the book. And I did that in the book because I knew, well, it was a book, right? So people could take it or leave the 25 list. But people seem to love that. So if I had a top 5, it would be lemon, peppermint, lavender, frankincense, and tea tree oil. Those would be my top 5 because you can pretty much take care of anything with those 5 oils when it comes to pain, inflammation, respiratory, immune system, green cleaning, skin concerns, sleep, calming, waking up the brain. I mean, name it. The possibilities for those 5 oils combined or used separately are really endless. So those would be my top 5 oils. And probably in the book, although I created a top 25 list for the Smart Mom's Guide to Essential Oil book, really those 5 oils are probably used more in the book than any other 5. And I combine them. Like I think about lemon, peppermint, and lavender. They're phenomenal for allergies because they're great for breaking up mucus, opening up airways, and lavender is a natural antihistamine. Or I think about peppermint, lavender, and frankincense as my go-to headache blend. They are great at calming any type of that neck or head tension that's going on. Even for migraines, that's a great combination. So I think about when you even just begin to combine these 2 of them or 3 of them, whatever combination you prefer. And clearly I have a lot of recipes in the book because one wouldn't know this off the top of their head. But with those 5 oils, you really can basically solve most of your family's everyday issues right then and there.
Awesome. Now, when somebody starts incorporating essential oils, there's so many different ways that you can use them. Is there a safety factor involved? Can you, like you said, you put some in your tea, you can put them on the skin. What do we need to know about the safety of essential oils when somebody just is new to the industry?
Absolutely. Well, it's really important to know that not all essential oils are created equal. So there's a lot of oils out there that are adulterated. So they've added different ingredients in there. Some of the frankincense out there isn't even true frankincense. And the same with lavender. It's not lavender, it's labadin or it's something else. So you have to be really careful, especially lavender lotion or lavender soap. In a lot of those instances, it's probably a synthetic version. So one of the things I always tell people is definitely do your research. If you're looking for true therapeutic results, you want to make sure that you're using a high quality oil. And really what I recommend, just like we look up reviews and we look up testimonials and we look up the company itself. And so I always want to recommend, see if the company discloses where they source their oils. And then 2, do they also tell you how they test their oils? So make sure that they actually do purification testing. That will give you a good sense of what kind of oil that you're using. Now, although there are hundreds of oils out there with all different kinds of constituents that are great for us, there's only actually 3 real ways to use essential oils. Number 1 is breathing them in, inhaling that. So when we think about aromatherapy, that's exactly what we're talking about, that aroma. So I have a blend right here. It's a citrus blend. I call it Pure Happiness. It's got wild orange and lemon and mandarin and grapefruit. We use it, we diffuse it all of the time. It's one of my favorite oils to diffuse because it just smells like you're walking through the most gorgeous orchard, the most gorgeous orange orchard. So what I do is I just rub my hands together. This is called direct inhalation. And I'm just going to breathe in those constituents. And when I do that, it smells so good. It smells like a dreamsicle. Oh my gosh. But when I do that, those wonderful, beautiful constituents go into the lungs and go into the bloodstream. So such an effective way to get the oils into the system. And then they also go to the brain and have a massive impact on the limbic brain, which is the emotional center. So this oil, if you're feeling stressed or you're feeling a little bit sad or discouraged, this oil will perk you up in an instant. And that's why I love aromatherapy, for the mood support, the stress support, for the emotional well-being, and then for opening up those airways. Now, also when it comes to aromatherapy, we were talking about the diffuser. I always tell people this is actually, this little diffuser here, it's not plugged in, so I can't show you it's running, but it's the easiest way to use oils. You know, you can just pop the lid off of here, pop the little lid just like this, and then I just add 5 to 7 drops of whatever mood I prefer to be in, right? Because it really determines your mood.
Mm-hmm.
I choose my mood of choice. Alex and I will confer around the kind of mood we want to have. And then we start running our diffusers all over the house. And that is the easiest way, because not only do you get all of that emotional well-being, but the oils are going into the bloodstream. Like I said, they are having a profound effect. You know, when you think about the citrus oils, they're powerful with antioxidants. They're great for purifying the body, and they're phenomenal for helping to boost the immune system. So not only are you getting all of those emotional benefits from an oil like the citrus blend, you're getting so much more in return, unknowingly that's happening for you. Now, the other way to use it is going to be topical. And I've got my Superwoman blend here. It's one of my favorite go-to hormone blends. And I love, not only does this oil smell purely goddess divine, I mean, I just keep moving my head around it. You know, it smells so good. But I love to put it on my wrist. I love to put it on my temples. And I love to roll it over my palm as well.
What's in the Superwoman blend?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked, Veronique.
I want one.
So it's a 10 mil roller. It looks kind of like a lipstick case. You can get these on Amazon all over the place. Okay. I love my pretty little roller bottles, but it's a 10 mil and that's the standard size. So in this blend, it's 12 drops of clary sage, which is like the hormone of hormone essential oil. Such a wonderful estrogen and progesterone stabilizer. Next, it's 10 drops of lavender. There we go. 7 drops of geranium.
Oh, love geranium.
Oh my gosh. Call that the power woman oil right there. Geranium. Oh, so beautiful. So great for skin. And then 5 drops of cedarwood and 5 drops of ylang-ylang.
Oh, love ylang-ylang.
Yeah. So when you mix those two, so you put them all in, it doesn't really necessarily matter the order. Mm-hmm. Oftentimes people go highest to lowest. Mm-hmm. And then you just top it off with a coconut oil. Make sure it's fractionated so it's a liquid form coconut oil, or grapeseed oil, or almond oil, or jojoba oil, whatever you prefer. Again, you can get these carrier oils pretty much everywhere. I've got all 5 at home because I make these all the time. I love my rollers. And then you just apply. I like it on the ankles. I like it on the wrist. I like it right on the temples. And I love it on the neck. That's a really beautiful pulse point. But because it's my perfume, oh my gosh, people come up to me and like, it's so funny when you wear oils because mm-hmm. people will come up to you and smell you out of nowhere, right. Like strangers, because those oils are eliciting an emotional response right. that person is attracted to. So it took a little getting used to. It doesn't happen too often, but every now and again, I'll have a woman be like, oh my gosh, what is that? And it's so fun to share that recipe.
It is.
Yeah.
So a question I have as far as frequency and energy. We know mm-hmm. that oils are super concentrated mm-hmm. and we know that oils affect us, aromatically. Can you speak to the area of the frequency and the energy of the oils and how that has such an uplifting effect on our body and on our health?
Absolutely. I know you and I have a really great friend, Robin Openshaw. She's got a book called
Vibe. Okay. Yeah. Vibe is the name
Vibe.
Of the book. Yeah.
And she talks about the energy frequency, right? Mm-hmm. That you can measure our energy in megahertz of energy. And as you know, we average around, I want to say 65 to 70 megahertz of energy as humans when we're relatively healthy. And then it can drop down significantly. And what's so phenomenal about essential oils is that they have a very high megahertz of energy, actually some of the highest of all of the plant species out there, frankincense being one of them. I thought I had my Frankie in front of me, but I think it's in the bedroom. So frankincense runs around 200 megahertz, I believe, or 250 megahertz of energy. And then rose oil, which I also have. I have rose and jasmine, but rose oil runs at around 300 megahertz of energy. And we know that rose oil is the highest energetic frequency. And what that means is it really helps to raise up our healing potential, really raise up our cells' vibration so that they are functioning at peak capacity and peak function. So I think that the use of essential oils on a day-to-day basis plays a major role in helping to combat a lot of the negative energy, the radiation, the toxicity that we're exposed to every single day, by helping to support our cells on a cellular level through this energetic capacity. And is there anything you would like to add? Because I know this is an area of your focus.
Oh, you answered very well. That's so true, because we know that when our body is ill and unwell, that our frequency is very low. Cancer cells are usually between 10 to 15 megahertz. So healthy body is 75 typically. So the high energy of the oils is extremely beneficial. Now, we know we don't treat or diagnose with essential oils. However, a woman's on a healing journey and she's been diagnosed with breast cancer. Are there any, what would be the top 3 to 5 oils that you would recommend that could support her as she's going through this journey?
Absolutely. Great question. And I know that you're definitely my expert when it comes to this topic. So we'd love your feedback as well on this. One of the oils that we love in terms of helping women on their healing journey for breast cancer is going to be frankincense. Yeah. We know that frankincense vibrates at a very high energy. Again, one of the top 5 of all of the plants out there. And frankincense, we know, has a very, very powerful ability to help the cells on a cellular level. And so I always recommend using frankincense. It definitely does not conflict with a lot of the care that people are receiving. I also recommend essential oils for mood. So I do love the citruses. They do have those antioxidant components, the immune system boosting, and really they smell phenomenally, and they are great for mood boosting due to the monoterpene content that is going on inside of those beautiful oils. And so I always recommend the citruses. Those are my go-to. So those are 2 that I absolutely love. And then also I think lavender and any other oil that can really help with any kind of allergesic, that can help with any type of pain. So I love lavender for calming, for sleep. I think it's really wonderful, especially if someone's going through treatment, they're having a hard time going to sleep. Lavender and Roman chamomile are phenomenal. And then they're also great for applying topically to whatever areas someone may be just needing a little bit extra support. And then clearly, if you can get your hands on that rose oil, the rose oil has like I said, that energetic property that is bar none. And anytime I've had a woman that I've worked with who needed essential oils, rose is always on the top of that list for just helping that energetic property. Because remember, when you're on, and you know this more than I do, but when you're on, on chemo, or if you're doing radiation, again, your cells are having to take in so much of that energy, and they definitely damper in terms of their energetic propensity. So to kind of raise those back up, the oils are going to play a major role there. And that's why you're finding that essential oils are being used at the Huntsman Clinic, at Johns Hopkins, a lot of cancer clinics around the country and around the world, really for the emotional aspect, the cellular benefit, the immune system benefit, and also just the ease with raising that energetic frequency, and for helping to support the cells on that cellular basis.
Very well said. Yes. And I mean, we could go down that rabbit hole. There's so many different types of oils, but those are definitely some good basics. So tell us about your amazing book. Why did you write it, and what is it about, and where can people get it?
So absolutely. Thanks for asking. So the number one reason why I wrote the book is that there are essential oil books out there, and I've recommended a lot of essential oil books over the years. And I've had the blessing to educate over 50,000 people about the oils. And what I've learned is that a lot of those books are very encyclopedia driven. They're not very intuitive. And not to say that those books aren't great reference books, because I love them as a reference guide, but I knew a lot of women were coming to me and they had fear of using the oils for safety. They didn't know the dilutions for their children. They wanted to know what kind of quality they should use. And they really just wanted recipes that they could feel confident using that would work. And so when I wrote the book, the big purpose was, how do I empower women to become CEOs of their homes by making over their medicine cabinet, their green cleaning cabinet, their personal care cabinet, and then also what are essential oils for mood boosting, mood calming, stress, self-care rituals, because the hormone expert in me wants those rituals out there. So taking care of mom and the women themselves And then the last chapter is all on hormone support too. So really the purpose of this book was really creating a 101 getting started book that gave women everything that they needed to use oils for themselves. And then if they had families, for their families. So that was the number one purpose. And so there are over 150 recipes, everything that you need to know to get started. And this book, after a year's time, is still a number one bestseller, which is so much fun.
Wow,
Yeah.
congratulations. Well, that
Thank
shows you
you.
there's such a need for that.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
moms want to be CEOs of their family and their children. And I remember when I was raising my children eons ago. Now I have grandchildren that I'm sharing the oils with, but it was really a learning process. There really wasn't any go-to specifically for children or for women's hormones. So for me, it was kind of a self-experimentation. But now we've got a resource like that, which is really awesome.
Yeah,
So
I love it.
thank you. So now you want to offer a free gift to our audience. I'm really grateful and very excited about that. Can you tell us about your free gift?
Absolutely. So I believe it is my top 5 essential oils for hormone support.
Yes.
Yes. And so this is, I know we didn't have a chance to go over this, but I do have a top 5 list when women are looking for hormone support, for mood support, cravings, when we have our monthly cycle, or even as we move into perimenopause and menopause. So this top 5 list is going to give you a great sense of how to get started to balance and support your hormones with the power of essential oils. This is a fun little cheat sheet that I think everyone can really benefit from.
It is. I love the cheat sheet, and they can get it at.
It is going to be, you know what, and I'm looking for it right now.
I can tell you
Okay,
what it is.
thank
It's
you.
Dr. Mariza, mariza.com/wellness warrior. And that's funny because that's also the name of the podcast, Wellness Warrior. And it's the hormone cheat sheet. And we'll have the links and everything available for you when we launch the podcast. And where can people find out, get more information about you and the work that you're doing?
Absolutely. Well, if you want to find me specifically, I am on Facebook and Instagram, but my website is Dr. Mariza, so DrMariza.com. And then if you're looking for the Smart Mom's Guide to Essential Oil book, the cheapest place to get it, like the cheapest place to get anything, is Amazon. And you just got to look up the Smart Mom's Guide to Essential Oils, or just pull my name up, Dr. Mariza, and then all of my books will pop up there, all 6 of them. So those are where to get the books.
Great job. Well, I'm so excited for you. You're doing some amazing things. Thank you for all you do and sharing your expertise to women in need. And I'm just really so proud to call you my friend and fellow colleague. So thanks for taking the time to be on the show.
Thank you so much, Veronique. It was such a pleasure.
It was fun. Okay, thanks.